Every single person in the XRP community wants to know the same thing. How much XRP do you actually need to be part of the top 1% of holders? Is it 1,000, 10,000, maybe 100,000? Well, today I'm going to reveal the number. And I promise you, it's not what you think. By the end of this video, you'll not only know the shocking truth, but you'll also understand why this number could mean the difference between financial freedom and getting left behind. This is not financial advice. Now let me hit you with something right away that most people don't realize. Less than 5% of the world even owns cryptocurrency, and an even smaller fraction has touched XRP. Yet XRP isn't just another altcoin. It's the digital asset positioned to bridge global payments, central bank settlements, and possibly even act as the backbone for a new financial system. So ask yourself, if adoption explodes and regulation clears the path, where will you stand in this distribution? Do you have enough to truly matter? Here's where it gets interesting. Wallet distribution data shows that the majority of XRP wallets actually hold less than 500 coins. Yes, that's right. Most XRP wallets don't even break 1,000. But wait until you hear this. When you move higher into the wallets holding 5,000, 10,000, and beyond, the numbers get smaller and smaller. The higher you climb, the more exclusive the club becomes. Which begs the question, at what point do you cross into the elite? Before I reveal the number, think about this. XRP isn't like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has 21 million total supply, and whales dominate the landscape. XRP has 100 billion, but the way distribution is structured and the way institutions plan to use it changes the math completely. If XRP even goes to 3 digits, let's just say 100, suddenly even a small bag turns into a life-changing amount. But here's the kicker. To be in the 1%, you don't need millions of coins. It's far less than that, but still more than most people realize. I saw a discussion today that perfectly captures the debate. Some claim 10,000 XRP is the golden number. Others insist 20,000. But then you get the bold predictions saying even 2,500 XRP could be enough to put you into that elite category once global utility goes live. Let that sink in. 2,500 XRP. Most people spend more than that on a vacation or a new iPhone. Yet that same amount in XRP could separate you from 99% of the world. Now I know what you're thinking. But Matthew, what if XRP never takes off like that? What if the price never hits those dream numbers? Fair point. Let's address that. Even if XRP were to only hit $10 or $20, holding 10,000 coins would still make you 6 figures, and that's without even scratching the surface of what's possible if XRP fulfills the vision of replacing outdated financial rails. So whether the big numbers come in or not, those who stack now are positioning themselves far better than those who doubt. But here's where the suspense builds. Ask yourself, why are institutions so quiet about XRP? Why do major banks test behind the scenes while the mainstream media downplays it? Could it be because they don't want retail investors like you loading up before the real flip gets switched? Think about it. If you knew something was about to become the backbone of global liquidity, wouldn't you try to keep it under wraps until you had your fill? That's the game being played right now. And here's the cold, hard truth. If you hold even a few thousand XRP, you are already ahead of the overwhelming majority of people. Remember earlier, when I said most wallets don't even crack 500? That means someone holding 5,000 XRP is already in the top few percent. And when you scale up to 10,000, 20,000 or more, you're essentially sitting in the VIP section of this entire future ecosystem. That's why the number I'm about to reveal matters more than ever. So let's build to it. Imagine this. Global liquidity corridors open up, CBDCs run on private ledgers that settle to the XRP ledger, and cross-border transactions move trillions daily. In that scenario, XRP doesn't just rise, it explodes. And if you're sitting on even 10,000 coins, suddenly you're not just an investor. You're one of the 1%. Not the 1% of all XRP holders. The 1% of the world that actually prepared for what's coming. But wait, what about the doubters? You've probably heard people say XRP is too slow, too centralized, or that it's never going to be adopted. Let's break that myth. XRP settles in 3 to 5 seconds. It can handle 1,500 transactions per second, scaling even higher. And unlike Bitcoin, it was designed for utility, not just speculation. Banks don't care about memes. They care about efficiency, speed, and cost savings. And that's where XRP wins every single time. If you're doubting right now, ask yourself this. Why would Ripple be working with hundreds of financial institutions worldwide if this asset had no future? Why would central banks even explore private ledgers if XRP wasn't a contender? You see, the narrative that XRP is just another altcoin falls apart when you look at the facts. And that's why the 1% number is so powerful, because only a small fraction of the world understands what's really going on. Now here's the reveal you've been waiting for. Based on wallet distribution, community research, and future price potential, most estimates place the 1% threshold between 10,000 and 20,000 XRP. That's it. Somewhere in that range is where you separate yourself from the crowd. Could it be lower? Absolutely. If adoption accelerates, even 2,500 XRP might be enough. Could it be higher? Possibly, if whales hoard and institutions buy aggressively. But the sweet spot, the number that keeps coming up again and again, is 10,000 to 20,000 XRP. Think about how crazy that is. 10,000 XRP today costs less than some people spend on a used car. Yet that same bag could one day represent a seat at the financial elite table. That's why people call XRP the greatest asymmetric bet of our lifetime. Small risk, massive upside. But only if you act before the rest of the world catches on. And let's address one more pain point before we close. Some of you watching might be thinking, I can't afford 10,000 XRP. Listen closely. You don't have to. Even a smaller stack could change your life if XRP reaches the levels many predict. The key is positioning yourself with what you can manage, because at the end of the day, owning some is infinitely better than owning none. So here's the takeaway. If you want to be in the top 1% of XRP holders, the magic number is likely in that 10,000 to 20,000 range. But don't let that scare you. Whether you hold 500, 2,500, or 50,000, you're already playing a game most of the world doesn't even know exists. You're ahead of the curve, part of the community that sees what's coming before the masses wake up. And let me close with this. When the switch flips and XRP's true utility is unleashed, there will be no time to catch up. The train will have left the station, and those who hesitated will look back with regret. But not you. Not if you're watching this right now and taking action. So if this blew your mind, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me your XRP price target, subscribe for more insider level analysis, and share this with the community. Together, we'll ride XRP straight to the moon.